Just being able to be in the academy is a real big honor. I can always feel comfortable and call this place my home no matter where I go. They've always kind of been there, guided me the way, and believed in me whenever many people didn't believe in me.
There's so much talent in here, and just seeing them around me, that makes me become better, become a better person, better player. They're like my family, so they like push me up when I'm down. I push them up when they're down.
The academy represents a unit, a family. I've made so many good friendships and partnerships that I'll never forget playing here. It means so much to me because I'm surrounded by other people that push me to be the best that I can be.
Forget our principles, huh? We work very hard, we're very prepared. We focus on the details. That's what makes the difference, okay? The brotherhood, togetherness, focus on the details. We have to care more about the details. We have to care more, Papa. It's not about just what you wear is gonna make it happen. It's about what's underneath, Papa. This right here is your heart. And you go out there with clear eyes and with like brothers. And we fight for every ball. And we push them back. They wanna push hard, we're gonna push them harder. We put the ball in their half, we push our lines, we get on the ball and we have some fun and create, gentlemen. The way we defend is the way we attack. Last thing for me, start strong. Start strong, play forward, get our lines out, and set the tone early, gentlemen. Dale, Papa.
The biggest part of my whole learning experience I play at club level, but academy, which is a whole different ball game. You're playing with the top talent in the state as well as the country. I mean, we produce probably one of the best academies in the nation for several years now.
Everyone is here is competing for a spot, so no one can relax. And even reserves go to D1, so it's not like someone's better than the other. It's just depends how much you want it.
It's a program that made my final transition before joining the first team, and at a competition level I played against the best. I took a leap of faith, I took a risk, I guess, leaving my old club for something new and that I wasn't sure about whether I was going to make it. I was not, but it was that next step in my development that I knew I had to take, and I'm glad I did.
The thing that separates us from any other academy in the country is our integration with the first team and the culture we have that shares the same ideas in terms of style of play, work ethic, tactical, technical concepts, the physical work we do, the mental work. Our club is organized in a way differently than most in this country in that we have Zone 1, so we have kids coming in at 5, 6 years old, and we have a full professional team. And so the development model really is in place to try to cater to all of those different groups. And there's a lot of different reasons that kids play the game. Some of them are very motivated to play at the highest levels, and obviously we have environments for those kids to play in. And other kids play because it's fun and they want to play with friends, and we have environments for them as well. One of our main objectives is to make sure that kids love the sport first, and so our primary responsibility is really to provide them a coach that's fostering that love of the sport. And by doing so, they're going to be very connected with FC Dallas.
Players don't just finish at 18 years of age in this club. They continue to go on. They have the opportunity to train beside the professionals. They have the opportunity to play and train, with the professional players. There's no ceiling.
It's very weird to see those things. You don't see at the pro level having the academy around. It's two different completed things, but I think we have nailed down what we needed to do to have some of those opportunities with the younger players to move into the first team.
We train the same time as the pros, so everybody on field 2 sees the pros on field 1. They're like, oh, I want to be there, I want to be with them, because at the end of the day, what soccer players dream isn't to become a professional player.
They always tell us, be ready, never be on your toes every single time. So if they call us, we're ready for that.
This is the only club out there that you can really get the bridge connection to the first team. I mean, Oscar believes in young talent. You want to be the next one. Everyone wants to try and be the next one. I mean, it's just one field away to make the difference. Going across to Oscar, hey, can we have some players? Yeah, who's the next one? That's what our coaches tell us all the time. Who's the next one? They want to be able to make that list.
Our academy It's the heart of the club. Obviously, the first team is a priority, but we have faith and we have believed in the program and developing players since the beginning. Why not these kids representing their community and representing their team? Why not them?
We want to see them in a first team environment, how they react, what kind of situation. Are they quick mentally enough to do things that the first team does? And I think that's where we have an advantage on top of anybody else in the United States. I'm probably one of the teams that only does it on the wall.
With Frisco ISD's support, the kids are able to train in the mornings or the afternoons and still be on an advanced and accelerated academic curriculum. A lot of attention is given to the players on the field and in the classroom. And so the players that are taking part in our programs, both athletically and academically, in my mind, are preparing themselves very well for the future.
To us, we believe that it's mutually as important as what we do on the field to prepare these players to be professional players, and just as important to be productive young men in society.
We've had the good fortune to have teams from all over the world come and play matches here and top-level clubs from Europe and South America, and they're always amazed at this facility.
Kids come here and they're like, why you guys have locker rooms? Why you guys have showers? No way. Like, I mean, for us, that's something that we see as a club trying to help us, prepare us for the next level.
I remember going to Spain and looking at the Madrid facilities, and I mean, it's a top-level team, but our facilities are pretty close.
Like, I love how many fields we got and stuff. I mean, I like how it's like right next to the stadium.
I mean, we have 20 fields here on site at Toyota Soccer Center. We've got another 20 or so fields at MoneyGram Park, another facility that we manage. So together we have over 40 fields. I mean, that's unimaginable in other parts of the world, let alone just the United States.
We have access to the professional team locker rooms and their ice baths, their gym, their fitness room, all the recovery session, everything that they do, we try to do.
It's just great. They're just in a pro environment. They learn from a young age to take care of themselves, take care of your body, because I mean, in the end, your body is what makes you all your money.
The pros have their own locker room, we have our own locker room. We walk out, they walk out, so they make us feel like pros.
I'm lucky to be able to see so many facilities around the world. We are one of the best. There's no question about it. No other team in the world have or do what we're doing here at FC Dallas.
We're proud of the effort that Lamar Hand has done and his family with our club and giving us the opportunities to work and be part of this. I'm not shy to say it, I think he's one of the best in the world, and we have it here in Frisco.
It makes you appreciate FC Dallas a lot more.
Hey guys, round of applause. Kevin's going to camp. We do. Look at Kevin. We do. Look at Kevin. We do. Oh, Kevin, we love you.
We're a family from U13 all the way to U18. Everybody knows everybody. We're all friends, and every time someone gets called up to national team or goes to preseason with the pros, I mean, we're just ecstatic for them, because that means that their hard work and dedication is showing off, and that also means that what we're doing to help them is showing off, because if your teammates aren't pushing you to be the best you can be, then there's no way that you can compete at the national team level or the professional level. So that's the main reason why we succeed the way we do.
I think just a big brotherhood. Everyone wants everyone to succeed. We hang out with each other daily. We go to the same school.
There's no individual groups and stuff. Like, we just all come together. If the 18s are playing, like the 16s will come and chant for us. And like when 16s are playing, 18s will do it as well. And it's just cool, like, how everyone comes together in the locker room.
I think that's important, to have the support and to have that backup from your own teammates, and knowing that they want the best for you and they want you to make it. It's amazing to see.
It's very rare that our coaches have to tell us, hey, go out there and support your younger guys, or hey, you guys go out there and support the older, because we want to do it. I mean, everyone's together. It's just a real big family environment for us, and it's no matter, hey, I made the roster, I didn't make the roster. It's, hey, you're my brother, I'm going to support you no matter what.
There's a lot of pride internally whenever we talk about the programs and the progress that we've made over the last 8 years with the Academy and 10 years with the Youth Club. It's unbelievable where we are today.
The Academy's only existed 7-8 years, and already we have a strong tradition of competing well nationally and internationally, producing youth national team players, producing players for our pro team, not just in Dallas, and all over different parts of the world.
I talked to an Ivy League school. He said FC Dallas do it better than anyone. You know, preparing our players, you know, having information about our players, you know, understanding that, you know, not all players are going to become professional soccer players. And when I first took this job with Dan Hunt, it was a goal of his. He says, you know, we don't want to just take that small percentage of players that will be professionals. We want to have a goal to extend the opportunity for all of our players to go to college as well.
We don't just talk, we do. We have 10 players right now in the pro team that came from our academy. Not only on the roster, but playing meaningful minutes. So we are the real thing. The history is simple.
It is tremendous. It's getting even better and better because every year we have younger guys coming, more prepared than the year before. And we are seeing all these many players developing and yelling for opportunities. And it's fantastic. And it's going to be even better and better.
I could get a ride sometime.
Back in the day, the thought of everybody, of every kid, of every parent was go to Mexico, find an academy there, and eventually try to jump into the first team. That's what I did. But now that this is here, then I think it would be great for the future of the MLS.
RGVFC and Houston Dynamo were very enthusiastic about the project. They can be exposed to an environment where they have fans, they travel, you feel that.
The thinking of the ownership wasn't only creating a professional brand, it was a brand that was serving for the community, that was about the community.
We're never quite accepted, we're not quite Mexican enough, we're not quite American enough, but we're our own thing.
A lot of people from outside think that the Valley is so disorganized and they would never have a professional team, and now we have one.
You're proving them wrong.
Yeah.
Back in Texas, and man, I missed it here. It's good to be home. Spent 3 years with the Houston Dynamo, the best part of my career, 2 MLS Cup appearances. But the club has fallen outside the playoffs as of late, but has reimagined itself, taking steps in the right direction, and in some ways due to a unique partnership in MLS with their USL affiliate, Rio Grande Valley FC, with a player base and a community they are tapping into that's often overlooked, right on the border between the United States and Mexico.
Everybody, we're here with Dynamo legend Kalen Carr and from the MLS League offices.
Dynamo legend, I can get used to that.
I mean, everybody recognizes the helmet, you're a recognizable figure, legend.
With RGV, can you describe just how this partnership is structured? Because I think we get the idea that, yeah, players can come up and down, but just more from the organizational standpoint as far as the technical soccer side versus the organizational side or business side.
Yeah, well, basically, to simplify it, you know, we run and control all aspects of soccer. And our partners with the group in the Valley, you know, they take on all the business operating sides, the stadium, the ticket sales, the corporate sponsorships. And it was a strategic decision with where RGV is located. You know, it's a soccer hotbed in the Valley. MLS is becoming a league of choice, as you know, and the quality of player is getting younger. You know, players, or young players in particular, that maybe used to try to get into a League MX side are now choosing, hey, I want to come to RGV, I want to come into your USL program, I want to come into your academy. And to me, that speaks volumes of the direction we're going as a league.
When you guys started this partnership with RGV, what was the reaction like of people maybe around MLS?
I think skepticism at first. And now, I mean, listen, I can't tell you now, from my counterparts throughout the league, I probably get one call a week, you know, asking, okay, hey, you know, how's this project going? And you see clubs like San Jose, Seattle now, and there's going to be several other clubs that are going to follow that model, and it'd be almost like revolutionary in a lot of ways. Just in the last year alone, you know, we've signed 4 players from RGV. When you're a young player and you're chomping at the bit to get that opportunity, is you got to be ready when that opportunity comes as well. And I see, you know, sometimes you almost feel bad for young guys that get thrown to the fire where they haven't cut their teeth in real pressure environments, and that's what we feel, you know, with our structure and with RGV is critical.
So I know we're talking a lot about youth development, untapped resources, and I gotta hit you with the hardest question of the day.
Yeah.
When are you gonna sign the Boniak twins?
Oh, well, listen, you've seen what? Hey, and one of them has a great left foot, by the way.
Oh yeah, I see him banging goals on Instagram stories like all the time. He's like crushing balls.
Well, if they continue down that path, we're going to have to start at the academy level, at like U6 level here soon.
In order for Rio Grande Valley to be successful, also we have to be successful. For the players there, they say, okay, it works. If you're good and Memo is doing well and Kevin is doing well, now if we work hard over here, we can go there. So it's a positive effect.
What was the initial conversations like about going to Rio Grande Valley and being a part of that project?
I was in Colombia, and Matt Jordan, he said to me, it's a project to have a team in McAllen. To be honest with you, I heard about McAllen, but I never been in McAllen, and I didn't know what McAllen. He insisted a lot. He called me too many times. So I say, okay, yeah. The project was to be the coach with that new team, build the team from scratch, and the players to be developed for the possibilities to be with the first team in Houston. When you have to build something, that's a big responsibility.
Players maybe trying to find their way to the first team, but a coach coming to the first team, was this a part of the plan?
The possibility for me to prove myself in front of a franchise that is an MLS franchise. I took the challenge. It's a great opportunity to go to an environment where they love soccer, and they've been playing soccer for generations, but they've been in a place where they've been a little bit far or not possibilities to have that environment handy. Now they have that right there. For me, that I've been seeing this league growing, this is a big step, and this is being very positive, very big. But for them, it's even better.
People have this picture of undocumented immigrants and what they may or may not bring with them. And when I saw on the schedule that RGV was playing against LA Galaxy 2, it seemed like the perfect opportunity to talk to Miguel about what it's like growing up on the Rio Grande, except on the other side of the river. I gotta ask, just what's it like for you to be back here and in an area similar to where you grew up, so close to Mexico, just over our shoulder?
Looking over there just brings back so many memories. You know, I remember being one of those kids, like playing in the water, like walking over to the river. I think about all the times, you know, that I went to the river, and you know, we'd go swimming there, and we'd see the patrol cars, like, you know, drive by on the other side, but we never really paid attention. Every 4th of July, we'd walk over to the border and sit on, you know, on this side of the river and watch the fireworks. And I had no clue what it was about, and you know, and now it's like it all makes sense. But when we knew someone's birthday was coming up, it's like, hey, you gotta ask for a soccer ball, man. Like the one we have right now, it's wearing out. And if we didn't have a soccer ball, we would just like put a bunch of little rocks in like a 2-liter soda bottle, and we'll turn that into a ball.
Guys in MLS don't want to play if like the field isn't exactly pristine. You guys are playing with rocks.
Dude, we used to play in like the middle of the street, like just 2 rocks in the middle of the street and like a beat up ball. Like we would sometimes wrap it in a plastic bag, so like, you know, like if it popped, then it's like, okay, we at least can like squish it and like put more plastic bags tied up with rubber bands. Up until we moved out of there was like blood stains still on the concrete. But yeah, it was brutal. You know, after that, it's like, oh well, I guess it's not as safe as I thought it was. There was an attempt to kidnap my sister, and you know, I didn't know about it until I turned, I think, 18. That's when they actually told me. You know, that was one of the main reasons why we left too.
It's decisions people make that aren't necessarily, they don't feel like choices.
Yeah. That was probably one of my proudest moments, just, you know, the fact that my mom was able to do that for us.
How did you make friends?
Soccer. Yeah, and I saw a couple of kids playing soccer, so I like walked up to them. I remember asking the guys, like, hey, do you speak Spanish? And you know, we just started talking, like they invited me to play, and then we just became friends from there.
Did that actually help you learn a little bit of English?
Yeah, learn all the bad words first, but...
That's like my experience, exactly the reverse, where it's like I helped to learn Spanish, but same thing, all the bad words
all the
first.
bad words, yeah. I've gotten a lot of messages from people I've never met.
on Facebook and like social media, just asking me, it's like, oh, how'd you do it? Like, I want to do, like something similar. Like that's kind of what I always kept in mind. If I can help someone, if someone can read my story and go, well, if he can do it, then I can too. And then, yeah, that's all I've ever wanted for it.
Do you want to yell anything over to Mexico?
No, they might come and get me.
Of the Dynamo Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah. We love our stadium. It's gorgeous. Look at this.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. It's a very unique place. We're right on the border. Soccer it's big here.
Somebody told me it's not quite Mexico. It's not quite the U.S. always. It feels like something different.
Oh yeah, definitely. Once we're here, we're all orange. It doesn't matter. You're from Mexico. You're from Texas. You're from wherever. Once you're here, you're a Toro. The influence is definitely there. Border. The valley is its own unique thing, and we're really proud of it, though.
Ni aquí o ni allá?
Ni aquí ni allá.
Ni aquí ni allá.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
It.
I heard that. That's a cool saying.
It's our club, That's all we can say. We don't support any other club. We bleed orange.
Forever orange. I've heard that a couple times. Well, it's such a melting pot. It seems like people from all different walks of life here.
Yeah. Believe me, I'm from Connecticut. Nah.
You're from Connecticut?
Yeah.
My father he used to take us to the stadium in Mexico all the time with Tigres. So ever since I was born, it's my blood. Monterrey is like 2.5 hours from here, so every time we had the possibility, we were there at the stadium. People in the area just watch mostly Mexican soccer, so having people actually showing interest in the team and starting to support us, it's good for us and good for the area. My younger brother, they were trying to take him to a club in Mexico, and I know what it's like over there. It's not easy, especially the kind of money they pay some of the young players. I told him to focus in the U.S. and eventually if things don't go well, at the end of the day you can get your degree or stuff like that and have a future as well. For example, if myself, I go to Houston and I do good and I prove myself, maybe Wilmer will look back and say, okay, maybe I can start bringing more guys in and stuff like that. So I think this is a good bungee to jump into the MLS.
Both of my mom and dad found jobs here in the Valley, and half of their lives they lived there. Half of the other life was Reynosa, Mexico. I couldn't ask for anything else. I mean, training here, playing here, it's great.
There's like a fair amount of guys on the team now who are from here. What's it like having guys who you grew up with now playing together as teammates?
Only those people know what it feels like to be playing for this team. It's not going to be an easy road to making it to the big leagues, and we know what's needed of us to be there. I would love to end my career here, but obviously I don't want to be here for long. I think any player aspirations is to go play at a higher level, and they don't want to be here for long.
I think soccer is number one globally, but it's number one for sure down here. I tell everybody, come one game and you're going to be hooked. We were the very first ones to create a hybrid agreement with the Houston Rockets in the NBA. Now after that, models took off. I think there was 9 models after us, after we did the partnership with the Houston Rockets. So we were familiar with a hybrid. Somebody handles the basketball operations, we run the business operations. Same thing with us. We don't know a thing about soccer, or at least to the level that Matt Jordan, Nick Hoba, and obviously Chris Canetti, they're the pros at that. So you take over the soccer part and we'll be good. About a year ago, we had about 120 kids try out for our academy. We had over 610 kids try out a week ago for our academy.
In 1 year?
In 1 year. So.
Well, how cool is it that they now don't have to leave? They can stay right here and play for their hometown team.
Obviously, 30 years ago for me, that would have been a dream come true. Now we're making dreams come true for other kids.
There's a special pride and swagger that comes with being in Texas, And playing in Texas, I felt it while playing with the Dynamo, and in the way the fans supported our club and our community came around us. And I see that here in Rio Grande Valley as well, in the way this community has come around the Toros. And I feel some pride coming back now and seeing how my club has created a bridge for this community and players that have often been overlooked. Now they feel, hey, you know what? I don't have to go down to Mexico to have a chance, to have a future in professional soccer. And a special pride and swagger that I sense in them now that, hey, we can do it right here.
When there's a caravan of 2,000 people going anywhere, that's something special.
Seven buses, over 250 cars, out of one parking lot in 20 minutes. Houston's definitely a playoff city, and we don't have a lot of winners. We haven't won a lot of championships, so everyone was on board for those playoff games.
Well, in Houston, they gathered by the thousands early this morning to begin the 4+ hour caravan north up I-45 to here in Frisco. It is a sea.
I mean, it's a sea of orange. There's orange everywhere. These people care so much about my success and my team's success that they're willing to do this. Is dedication.
Stepping out in that field for the first time and seeing the orange, I don't want to say put the pressure on, but did they put the pressure on in a good way that we needed to go out there and win this game?
Win on three. 1, 2, 3. Win! Come on, hey.
The Houston Dynamo out of the Western Conference in orange and the New England Revolution in blue, and we are underway in the championship match. Franchino drills it in. The header. Oh, great job there. Spectacular save by Onstead. Terrasario has some room to work. Will fire this one off the hands of Matt Reese.
It was just kind of a stalemate. There weren't a ton of chances to be had. I think it was two evenly matched teams.
This one nodded into the 6 and cleared out by Houston.
And then, you know, the drama in overtime was pretty incredible.
You know, it's like somebody gave them a shot of adrenaline.
Revolution trying to build something here. Here comes Smith again. Man, he eats up chunks of real estate in a hurry.
The guy hits the pass, and he hits it right at me, so I'm like, I got this. Goes right through my legs.
Here's Taylor Trauman. His shot into the goal. What a great finish.
I just remember kind of slumping down in my seat and kind of, it's going to be a long bus ride home.
Obviously, when they score, there's a letdown. It's okay, it happened. Now what are we going to do to rectify that? You know, I remember as soon as I kicked it off, I just kind of beelined it down towards the box because I know the ball went wide. Brian made a good move to get around his defender. There was a chance that I wasn't going to miss.
Here's Ching with the flick. Oh, he ties it. Oh, what a great goal. We've been waiting all day, and here in the second overtime, a flurry of goals to tie it.
Those are the moments that you live to play the game.
Goodness gracious, unbelievable. And that's it for overtime. We are going to penalty kicks.
I always feel like it's a little bit of a shame when it ends in a shootout. You know, both teams put their best foot forward and play really hard, but you know, at the end of 120 minutes, you can't really keep playing.
We're in a huddle. You know, Dom's kind of talking to us. I look over at the New England group, and every one of them, their hands are on their hips and their heads down. So I start yelling at my team and I say, look at these guys. They're done. Look at them. Right? Do it. Let's go.
Gray sticks it in.
Right down the middle. Did not mess around at all.
He nailed it. What a great penalty.
Really, there's a lot of character with the players on the field tonight. They are not quitting.
Little stutter stepping down by him.
Matt got a piece of it.
He did. He has to make it, gentlemen, or Houston is the champ. Heaps. The save right on the line, and it's over. Houston has won it.
I remember Pat saving the ball, an ugly silver soccer ball, and picking it up, holding it in his big paw, and insanity ensues.
And the sea of orange goes wild.
I think it was special for our fans, you know, especially the fans that came out from the beginning and supported us.
Let me first start by congratulating the fans from Houston. You guys really painted Pizza Hut Park orange.
I think it really cemented the Dynamo being a part of Houston's landscape from minute one to now.
I remember my first goal. I didn't even know that I scored that goal. I couldn't believe it. I was the most surprised one. Anyone in that stadium, anyone, I was the most surprised one. You can see on my face. It was the best feeling in the world.
And this is a picture of when you want to go see Santa, and everywhere you went were a soccer jersey. So I thought it was kind of funny that you're sitting on Santa's lap wearing a soccer jersey.
You know, I would represent soccer literally everywhere I go. I would make sure everyone around me knew I was a soccer player. My mom is actually a urologist. My dad's a radiologist. My grandfather is a meteorologist. And so I have all these important figures in my family who are doctors and doing huge things for the community. My grandpa actually won a Nobel Peace Prize for all these things in meteorology. There's always been pressure on me to pursue a career in that area. And they were always pushing me to get the best grades and to get to the top of your class. It was kind of hard to deviate from that path. Why not, live up to my grandpa's name and live up to, having a successful family like my mom and dad did. But Grandpa actually told me the other day that you have to do what you want to do and what's in your heart, and that's the most important thing.
This one?
The national championship. U16.
This U16. This is his first year playing for FC Dallas.
I started at the FC Dallas Academy when I was about 15 years old. A couple of months passed and they said, we think you have a future here. I was like, I'm 16 years old and you're telling me I have a future here as a fullback? Like, I'm not quite sure about this. I don't think I was ready. I wasn't mature enough to be in the professional game yet. I had a lot of colleges pursuing me, but UCLA was ultimately the decision for me. My parents were definitely instrumental in that decision-making to go to college first before signing that contract, because any kid would have been like, oh, I'm gonna sign that contract, without thinking of the repercussions. But my parents nudged me in the right direction to go to college first and mature soccer-wise to be able to play at this level. But after that season, we had been talking with FC Dallas about signing that contract. It was the hardest decision to leave that school. But this was my dream that I've been wanting since I was little, and it could potentially become a reality. And I was questioning myself, is this the right decision? My stepdad, my grandpa, everyone, they're trying to give me advice. And at the end of the day, they all said the same thing. You have to do what you want to do. And what I want to do is become one of the best right backs in the world. And to do that, I have to make sacrifices like those. That first year in 2017, I had so many doubts because I wasn't playing, I wasn't making rosters, I wasn't traveling. It's easy for someone outside to look at that and say, you're a professional soccer player, but you took the biggest risk, leaving one of the best colleges in the country to pursue a career where you don't know what could happen the next day. Now it's not working out. There's thoughts of giving up, and there is doubt that this is what I was meant to do. It's tough, coming back here, seeing the field like this from this angle, because in 2017, I would sit here because I wasn't making rosters.
That was a tough year to be training and training and training and not playing any games. That's rough.
It was tough. I just kept working my butt off. I would be in the gym twice a day. I was doing everything in my power to level up my game.
At that moment, he's a 17-year-old trying to impact a first-team roster. That's hard anywhere in the world. He had to watch another player play his position for the majority of the minutes, if not all of them, in a season. But it made him stronger. It made him dig deep about how much he loves this game and what is he willing to persevere to earn opportunities.
My mom was one of the most supportive figures in 2017. She called me to make sure I was okay. She would text me. She would tell me to keep my head up. Everything she could do to help me realize I could play in this field. I could play for this team and to make this club proud.
I never would have succeeded if I didn't go through all the pain of me not making those rosters. It wouldn't prepare me for the season that I've had this year and last year. The first time I made the starting 11 was against RSL in season opener. It's not a perfect story because I got beat on the goal 1v1. And you know, me being my first game, I'm like, yeah, it's over. But that game, I played okay. You know, there were butterflies. My first actual professional, MLS game. The second game, it got better. Third game, started getting a little better. Fourth game, started getting rhythm. All of a sudden, I found myself dribbling and doing these things that, this is what I wanted to do, but this is instinct. I'm not even thinking about what to do.
Coming to close him down. Cannon cuts back. Puts it in!
I remember my first goal. I didn't even know that I scored that goal. I couldn't believe it. I was the most surprised one. Anyone in that stadium, anyone, I was the most surprised one. You can see on my face. It was the best feeling in the world.
19-year-old Reggie finds an opener for FC Dallas. Well done, young fella.
In 2017, it was one of the hardest years of my life. I was a kid coming in like, oh, I'm good enough to play. But, looking back in hindsight, I wasn't. My family really gave me the sense of confidence, the sense of calmness to get through that 2017 season, to be able to play 2018, 2019, make your cap with the national team, things like that. I never would have been able to be in this spot without family. I'm a good defender, I know that. But going forward, I want to also be a good attacker. I want to be able to be in the middle of the field and take players on 1v1. I want to be able to do it all. I think a right back can win the MLS MVP. I think a right back can win the Golden Boot. There's no reason why I can't.
Want to see some more of this? Check out these goals over here. Hit subscribe to get all of our videos.